Here we are again, folks. It is Thursday, and as per usual on Thursdays, we break down for you what you can watch in terms of motorsport this weekend. Welcome back to RacePlazaMedia. My name is Pia, and let's just get right into it because we have lots of different options for you, a great variety of motorsport that you can watch this weekend. First of all, the guys are back yet again. The MotoGP folks, as well as Moto2, Moto3, and the Northern Talent Cup, they will all be competing at the Autodrome for the Czech Grand Prix, which I'm very excited about. It's been a great season if you're a Marc Marquez girl. But even if you're not a Marc Marquez girl, I think it has been a really interesting season in terms of who ranks up behind him. There's been a lot more names in the mix for the last couple of races. So I'm very much looking forward to this Czech Grand Prix, especially because after that, they will be going into their summer Grand Prix, they will be going into their summer break. However, also one big thing that's happening this weekend at the Czech Grand Prix, the current MotoGP world champion, Jorge Martin, will be finally returning again after 2 breaks due to injuries. So I'm very excited to see him back on the bike. So we will see how he will be faring this weekend. Next up, of course, there's no Formula One this weekend. They're on a mini summer break right now before they return in just another week. However, if you want the American version of it, we have the IndyCar series competing this weekend in Canada on the streets of Toronto. And alongside IndyCar, we also have the USF 2000 as well as the USF Pro 2000 all competing on the streets of Toronto. Speaking of American, it cannot get more American than NASCAR. And there's lots of different NASCAR options available for you this weekend. Of course, we have the NASCAR Cup Series, the NASCAR Xfinity Series, and we also have the 2 ARCA Menard Series, so the junior leagues to NASCAR, competing this weekend at the Dover Motor Speedway. So you have all of those options, but we also have the NASCAR Milan Modified Tour. They will be competing. We also have the NASCAR Late Model Stock Car. Then we also have the NASCAR Canada Series, as well as the NASCAR Mexico Series. All of those will be competing at different tracks, but more NASCAR. So we have the regular ones, the usual series, plus a lot more options of NASCAR. So if you're a NASCAR fan, you will definitely get your fill this weekend. Next up, I want to highlight a couple tracks that are going to be incredibly busy this weekend. And the great thing about the races that are happening at those tracks, they're all, for the most part, most of them are going to be available for you to watch for free on YouTube. And of course, we love that. So first of all, the track in Misano is going to be very busy because we're going to have the Renault Clio Cup in France. We have the GT World Challenge Europe, the Sprint Cup. Then we also have the Renault Clio Cup Italia. So 2 Renault Clio Cups. And if you've been part of our channel, you know we enjoy the Renault Clio Cups just because they're really fun. You have a lot of cars on the grid. There's a lot of elbows out. So there's a lot of fun. And they're short races. So they're an easy bite-sized, nothing too much. Then also in Misano competing are the GT2, the GT4 European Series, and also a Porsche Carrera Cup. So lots of different types of racing available for you. Some single make racing and some not single make racing, but nonetheless, a nice variety for you to tune into. Another busy track this weekend is the Paul Ricard Circuit. On there, you'll be finding the GT Cup Open Formula, the Euro Formula Open, the International GT Open, and then if you need some F1 fix that is not quite yet F1, but maybe in the future will be F1, we also have the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine, aka FRECA, will be competing at Paul Ricard this weekend, as alongside the E4 Championship, which is kind of an equivalent to a Formula 4 Championship. So you have those 2 Formula 1 fixes for you. If you need some more Formula 1-esque type of racing, there's also Super Formula competing at the Fuji Speedway. There's the F4 Brazilian Championship competing at Velocita. And then there's also, if you want to go back to where it all starts, we also have the FIA Karting European Championship competing this weekend. So lots of different options there again for you, and most of these are also for free for you to watch on YouTube. Now, the last track that I want to highlight that is going to be very busy this weekend is the Virginia International Raceway. And for this one again, all the races are available for you to watch on YouTube. So definitely tune in for those because it's the GT World Challenge America, and they're really fun races. So we also have TC America, we have GT4 America, we have GT America, and we also have Toyota Gazoo Racing GR Cup North America. So lots of racing there again. And a lot of it is, or all of them are really, really fun. I've watched several Toyota Gazoo Racing cups already, and they're really fun. You also have the occasional celeb competing in there as well. So that's always nice to see a familiar face if you're not familiar with the drivers themselves. Now, moving on to something a little bit different. Let's move off the regular racetrack for some rally. We have the World Rally Championship competing this weekend for the Rally Estonia. So definitely tune in for those if you love rally. I mean, rally is crazy and I love it. It's just like we've been saying, the app is questionable. And then on the other hand, if you want something in that vein as well, we also have the Rally Cross Championship. They will be competing for the rally in Hungary. So you have two different options right there. And then if you want something different, a little bit more of an endurance race, tune in for the Aurum 1,006 kilometers race, which happens in Lithuania. It happens in a city, but it's not your typical street circuit the way you imagine it, because it actually takes place on parts of the highway with the on-ramp and off-ramps being part of the racetrack. And from what I read, which I think is really interesting, the pit area, the fuel area, is an actual gas station shopping area that is part of the city. So it's not like, none of it is like an actual track, and you don't have like the typical paddock area. So that's really interesting. And the cool thing about it also is that you have a lot of different cars. So you have the FIA regulated GT3, GT4, TCR racers, but then you also have your atypical cars. So you have specifically constructed Soletic cars are also welcome. So you see a nice variety of vehicles there. So if you can, tune in for that. And of course, like the title says, it's 1,006 kilometers endurance race. And then the last thing I want to highlight for today, we also have Formula Drift competing this weekend at the WWT Raceway. So tune in for that. My brother and I got to experience Formula Drift in person when we went to the Long Beach Grand Prix this year, and it was absolutely bonkers. It's so much fun. It's incredible the skill that you have to be able to compete in these like tight millimeters tight races or competitions. So definitely tune in for those. They're also available on YouTube, so you can check that out there. So as you can see, there's lots of different races available for you. I know I'll personally will definitely be watching MotoGP. Not sure how much else I'll be able to watch this weekend because I'll be out of town, but I will never miss MotoGP. So I'll definitely be tuning in for that. Please do let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on this weekend, what you will be tuning into. If you have any wagers as to how Jorge Martin will be doing in his first race back, let us know. I'll be curious to hear what everybody thinks, how his status will be, how well he will be doing on the Aprilia, which Marco Besecchi has been doing so well on. So we will see how Jorge Martin fares when he is back. So I will leave you with that for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please give us a like and a subscribe. We really appreciate it. Jump into comments, chat with us. We are here from fans for fans because we just want to create a little lovely racing community. Tune in for our next video. We'll be back again on Monday with our regular race recaps so we can chat about everything that we watched over the weekend. Thank you guys. Have a good one. Bye-bye.